kilometers under a scorching sun, carrying nearly 30 kilos of weapons, a shield, and armor. And when night finally falls, there's no rest. It's time to dig, set up camp, and stay alert in case of combat. That was the daily routine of a Roman legionary. But no army can advance without energy, and long before drawing a sword, what arrived first was food. Eating wasn't just about replenishing strength. It was a key part of military discipline, a tool for survival and strategy. Today, we're going to delve into what truly sustained one of the most powerful armies in history. It's food. At the center of the Roman military diet was an indispensable ingredient, wheat, known as frumentum. This grain was the absolute foundation of their rations and could make up to 75% of the total weight of provisions. Each soldier received his portion of grain in its raw state, and using portable mills, he had to grind it and turn it into food. The most common forms were a thick porridge, flatbreads cooked on hot stones, or a type of hard, long-lasting biscuit called bucellatum. The latter was made only with water, salt, and flour, baked twice until it became so hard that many soldiers had to soak it in wine, or water just to bite into it. But its durability had a huge advantage. It could be preserved for weeks, ideal for long campaigns without access to new supplies. Barley, on the other hand, had a completely different status. Although technically edible, it was not part of the regular diet of a legionary. It was animal feed. In fact, when a soldier was punished for misconduct or poor performance, his wheat ration was replaced with barley. This act, known as frumentatum, was not just a dietary penalty, but a form of public humiliation. Eating barley was a symbol of disgrace. But while grains provided basic energy, the true source of power lay in something more coveted and far less guaranteed: meat. For soldiers, eating meat was a luxury, not a daily habit. Unlike wheat, it wasn't something distributed regularly. Obtaining it required initiative and resources. During active campaigns, legions couldn't rely on a constant supply line from Rome. They had to improvise. One way to obtain meat was through hunting. Deer, wild boar, hares, and rabbits were common prey. But beyond providing food, hunting was a military exercise in itself. It required focus, endurance, and teamwork, essential qualities in battle. Failing a hunt wasn't just frustrating, it could mean going hungry. In addition to hunting, another vital source of meat was the livestock found in conquered regions. When a legion took a village or city, they didn't hesitate to seize oxen, goats, sheep, and especially pigs. Pigs were the favorite among Roman troops for several reasons. They were easy to raise, abundant, and almost entirely usable. Their meat could be preserved through salting, smoking, or turned into sausages, bacon, and hams. Even the fat was reused for cooking other foods. Nothing was wasted. But meat was not just a source of food. It carried strong symbolic and spiritual meaning. Before major battles, it was common to perform religious rituals such as the suavitorilia, which involved the sacrifice of 3 animals: a pig, a sheep, and a bull. It was an act of purification, a plea to the gods for victory. After the sacrifice, the meat was shared among the soldiers, reinforcing a sense of community before facing death. However, the diet was not sustained by meat and grain alone. To maintain health and endurance during campaigns, the legions relied on another group of humbler but essential foods: legumes. In an army that was constantly on the move, simplicity was an advantage, and legumes offered exactly that. Lentils, peas, and beans were staple ingredients, especially among lower-ranking soldiers. They provided plant-based proteins, preserved well, and were easy to cook, whether in soups or stews combined with wheat. Their versatility made them an indispensable ally. Alongside them, vegetables also had their place. Although they don't frequently appear in ancient accounts, their nutritional and logistical value was evident. Excavations of military camps have uncovered remains of vegetables such as leek, cabbage, onion, turnip, and garlic. All hardy, easy to transport, and capable of being cultivated even near the camp. They provided vitamins, fiber, and helped prevent digestive disorders, a real threat during long campaigns. Fruits, on the other hand, were harder to come by and were not part of the soldiers' everyday diet. They were more of an occasional luxury. When available, they tended to be dried fruits like figs, dates, or raisins, which could come from merchants or be gathered during marches through fertile territories. These sweet and energetic fruits provided a quick calorie boost and a welcome variation in flavor. Although scarce, they could have a huge impact on troop morale. The historian Polybius recounts a telling episode. During a food crisis, King Philip V managed to distribute dried figs among his soldiers. It wasn't a grand feast, but that small gesture was enough to restore strength and hope to his men. Variety in the diet, even if modest, was crucial to maintaining morale. One of the most valuable and often overlooked foods was cheese. Light, durable, and highly nutritious, cheese was ideal for military life. It required no fire, pots, or complicated preparation. It could be eaten at any time, during marches, short breaks, or even on guard duty. Made from cow, goat, or sheep milk, cheese provided protein and calcium, but its greatest advantage was its durability. It kept well without refrigeration or special care. In fact, some Roman camps have yielded presses and utensils, suggesting that soldiers made their own cheese when the campaign pace allowed it. It was a practical, artisanal food, deeply tied to the army's self-sufficiency. And as an inseparable companion to cheese, there was a drink as basic as it was indispensable: posca. In the Roman military world, eating was fundamental, but drinking was a matter of life or death. Constant hydration was a logistical priority, and each legionary carried a container, whether a leather water skin or a metal canteen. Camps were strategically established near water sources such as rivers, springs, or wells dug by the soldiers themselves. But water was not always safe to drink. In unfamiliar territories, drinking untreated water could lead to severe intestinal diseases. The Romans' response to this problem was ingenious and effective: posca. It was a mixture of water with sour wine vinegar, sometimes enriched with herbs, honey, or spices. Although for high-class Roman citizens it was a despised drink, seen as something for peasants or soldiers, in the legions it was indispensable. Its sour taste helped eliminate bacteria and parasites, reducing the risk of infections. Additionally, the vinegar acted as a natural preservative, and modern studies have shown that this drink also provided antioxidants and some vitamin C. Posca was easy to prepare, heat-resistant and refreshing. In other words, it was the ancient isotonic drink, packed with practical benefits. But when it comes to long-term survival, two products made all the difference in Roman campaigns: salt and olive oil. Salt was much more than a simple seasoning in a Roman soldier's life. It was a strategic resource. Its ability to preserve food, especially meat and fish, made it a cornerstone of military logistics. Without salt, provisions wouldn't last, and without provisions, no legion could advance. Its importance was such that some historians argue the word salary comes from salarium, an additional payment given to soldiers to buy this valuable mineral. Salt was literally power in the form of white crystals. Olive oil, for its part, was the Roman army's wild card. It was used for cooking, seasoning, preserving food, and even as a balm to treat wounds, protect skin from the cold, or simply for personal hygiene. It was transported in amphorae marked with inscriptions indicating its origin and content, and formed part of the logistical convoy on every march. Wherever there was a Roman legion, there was olive oil. Writings by authors like Pliny the Elder and Vegetius reinforce this idea. Oil was not a luxury, but a vital element of the food arsenal. Now, all this food machinery didn't function on its own. There were entire units within the army dedicated exclusively to logistics. Groups of soldiers who didn't wield swords, but ensured that every man had water, enough rations, and minimum conditions to endure. Their silent work was the true backbone of the war machine. The Roman diet was neither luxurious nor varied, but that very simplicity made it unbeatable. Every food, every preservation method, every ritual around eating responded to a logic of survival, efficiency, and control. That combination of dietary discipline and organization was one of the best-kept secrets of Rome's military power. If you enjoyed discovering this lesser-known side of the empire, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more historical content, and as always, may Mars guide you in battle.